Today I want to talk to you about why it's so hard sometimes not to read long-form narration copy.
Every moment is a teachable moment.
Copy, when you have it in front of you, is typically written in either first person, second person, or third person format. And depending on which format, it really helps or makes it a whole lot more difficult to be authentic and believable and natural when you are voicing something. Because when something is written in, let's say, first person, it usually is in like a dialogue format where you're talking directly to someone. You use the word I, me, those types of pronouns will be in the copy, and it will be pretty much like, well, I think this. And, when we're talking about me, it's super simple to sound natural and believable, as if we're having that engagement with the person who's listening to us. A lot of corporate copy, actually, and e-learning copy is written in second person or third person format. And so second person, which is really in use a lot with corporate copy, is when you can see the pronouns we. And it's like, we believe, or we're committed. And when that happens, it kind of removes you from a really personal dialogue. But you are now taking on the opinion of the entire, let's say, company, right? You are the voice of the company. We believe in this. That kind of makes you feel a little bit removed, or that you might be speaking to a lot of people. But you have to really make a concentrated effort to make sure that you're talking to a listener, even though you're saying the word we. On behalf of the company. But I want you to always think about talking to your listener within that second person copy. The way that I do that is by really making sure I understand that I am, who I am, and I really want to know who my audience is. And then I actually kind of have a little scene in mind, and I'll actually play out a conversation. So what does the person that I'm talking to, what are they saying to me prior to my answer, right? Which would be whatever is in the copy. And so that helps me to make it a little more personal, so that it sounds like I'm talking more to someone. And then, of course, the most difficult, right? And this is the most difficult to sound like you're not reading, right, is third person copy. And that's when you're referring to things as objects. And so that there's no pronouns in there. And it basically talks about the storyline is all about this. So it's not like I, me, we, or you, right? It's, the object, the brown fox jumped over, that kind of thing. And so when you are voicing that type of copy, and you want to sound engaging and not like you're reading, you really just can't read it. You really do have to now think and focus on really setting a scene and talking to someone, and then maybe leading into those sentences with a lot of maybe pre-roll or pretext, or thinking about the subtext of it, and that's going to help you sound again like you're talking to someone. And it's going to be a whole lot more engaging, and it's going to be a whole lot less boring when you put yourself in the situation where you're talking to someone rather than reading to them. When you read to someone, a lot of times that will start to sound very predictable, very like, hello, robotic. And so you want to really try to make it more personal by converting that third person copy, which is really talking about objects and not necessarily making it personal with the I or me or we. And then you want to make sure that you are actually creating that scene and talking to your listener to make it sound more natural, and also make it a whole lot more interesting. And people will be able to listen to that long format narration much longer than if you were just reading it to them. So guys, if you're looking for more performance tips, make sure to check out my videos here. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week.